before I do that, I need to live stream with the recap. And this should be acceptable. Facebook does not work as well as YouTube. Um, so I started this year running every 3 days. I've been pretty consistent with running every 3 days, improving my time. On the first of this year, I managed to run a 51 100K. I did 51 kilometers, which is about 31 miles. My goal was 100 kilometers and 62 miles. So I got about 50% of the way there. And I've been running for about 2 years. Since I got in the military, I've been running every 3 days for 2 years, stay focused and consistent. And over the time of building my channel on YouTube, I came to a realization that that I needed to do something consistent to grow my channel. My goal with my channel is to sell the stories that I'm writing. And I had to stop. Well, I didn't have to stop writing. I stopped writing. I stopped working on Elemental War. Well, I might change the name from Elemental Warriors to Existential Warriors, but I stopped working on Existential or Elemental Warriors so that I can go do this 2 mile run. I have until midnight to achieve the goal. There's a thing in society. I'm not really I say it all the time, and I'll keep reiterating it. I'm not really a religious person. I believe in God. I just don't believe in religion. I don't trust anything written down by man, and humans wrote religion. And one of the biggest grievances that I've always had when it came to the idea of the Bible, any of them, especially Christianity, is we're told that the Bible was inspired by God and written by man, but we also have an account in the Bible where God physically carved the Ten Commandments into stone for Moses. So as a child, my question was always, if God could carve the Ten Commandments into stone for Moses, why didn't God just write the entire Bible? Why didn't he just write the whole Bible? Why did it have to be inspired by man? And then that allowed for the corruption and the misinterpretation. But that's a long rant. What I've been doing is I wrote a story. Ellen Warriors Quadrilla Marie, Curse of Marie. It's this one right here. All right. This is the book. It's been online for almost 2 years now. Hi, welcome to the stream. I commissioned an artist to do the artwork for me. This is pretty much with the art, and the pages look like it's black and white. This is if you can see, it says Quadrilla Marie. I'm in the process of using ChatGPT to update it. But I wrote this story. I wrote this story when I was 19, and I've been trying really hard to publish it. And unfortunately, I have to adult and be a human and just go through my day-to-day life. So when I first wrote this story, the main characters were on a planet, the planet Marie. And I want them to go from human-like mundane beings. If you follow mythology at all, humans always get godlike powers and become demigods. But demigods and gods were never the same. And there was always this, inside of mythology, there was always this line where you were either a god or you were a demigod. But it's rare for humans to become transcendent to gods. It was also rare in mythology for demigods to transcend to godhood. It happened, but it was always very rare in narratives. So I wanted to write a story that was what it would look like for a regular, mundane human being to transcend to godhood in a very structured, power scaling way, right? Power levels and stuff in fiction are never consistent. They're never fully fleshed out. There's always room for interpretation. The strongest characters were always written to be strong. Powerful characters will be written to be unnecessarily weak. Like if you're watching Naruto, the running gag is always like Naruto's most powerful technique is talk no jutsu, because no matter how powerful a character is or how unstoppable a character is, Naruto could always just talk to them, and then they'll be like, "All right, we'll stop destroying stuff." You know, the story that I'm writing doesn't really fall into that category. I like my high level my high level philosophy and ethics and morality and legality, to the point where even ChatGPT can't even it's not even allowed to engage in the level of story writing that I want to engage in. So should have brought my phone over. Yeah, facts. But in my story, so my characters were like living on a planet, and on this planet, they were supposed to go from being mundane beings to godlike beings, and that made the planet claustrophobic. It's really hard to show a true God with the scope of modern science and modern cosmology and modern understanding, and the limitations and the confinement of just the planet, right? So I decided, okay, let's go to the next level up, which would be the highest level I could think of at the time was the galaxy. So I'm like, okay, so I could just put them in a galaxy. So I converted the story to the Marie Galaxy, which is this current iteration. And the Marie Galaxy works pretty well. Um, it gave me a lot of high up the stream. It gave me a lot of room to really like flesh the characters out. There's a scene in the story where one of the characters actually jumps off a planet and she crosses the galaxy and she like um dives down to another planet, dives down to the through the atmosphere and lands on the planet, like just all non-assisted by any FTL or technology of any kind, just by her sheer strength and will. And mind you, she crosses the galaxy in a couple of seconds because they're godlike beings. But I've been working on the Microsoft Multiverse cosmology, and the Microsoft Multiverse cosmology is built on the foundation that nothingness is the foundation of all of reality. From nothing, nothing gives rise to something, and existence is encompassed in non-existence. Those two axioms are the foundation of my multiverse cosmology, and I call it infinite infinity. I've been working on it for about probably 20 years now, like literally probably about 20. I'm 43, so I've been working on it for about 20 years. I've been making exponential progress with it because of ChatGPT. It still fights me, but I get through. And the unfortunate thing is that the more I stabilize my multiverse cosmology, the more I understand these higher realities. Like my nested hierarchy is um, the mundane, which is us, the tectonic, which is like asteroids or volcanic islands. Because remember I said power scaling. So um, island level is a thing in power scaling. So we go from the mundane, which would be like street level, to volcanic level, volcanic island, tectonic, which would be like continents and islands or large asteroids. Any celestial body that doesn't have enough mass to make its make the surface spherical would be tectonic, would be below tectonic. And then you have celestial, which is the smallest objects are the ones that have enough gravitational mass to make themselves spherical, up to the largest non-stellar bodies, which would be anything smaller than and with the composition of a um, brown dwarf. Brown dwarfs are the smallest celestial bodies because um, they have stellar nuclear fusion that allows for the creation of deuterium and tritium in their cores. They're predominantly hydrogen gas. And from that, you have the largest celestial bodies, right? And then modern cosmology and not astronomy, yeah, no, astronomy, they have this reality where they don't really go beyond a certain structure or a certain level because there's no need to. There's no need to, even though we have the data and we have the science, there's no interest in the science of space, the science of cosmology, to the point where we go beyond a certain scope. We don't go above, in general, galaxy. There's no need to, right? So we don't really talk about galaxies and galactic clusters and galactic superclusters and things like that. But in my matrix and multiverse cosmology, I've been trying to push beyond that. So most most written speculative science goes from galaxy to universe, and that's a huge leap for me, and it's weird. So I put verse in between those, observable universe. So yeah, it goes from galaxy to observable universe, and then from observable universe it goes to the universe, and the universe is like infinite reality, and observable universe is like large scale finite reality. So you have the celestial, you have the mundane, the tectonic, the celestial, the stellar, the galactic, the verse, which is observable universe, and then from the verse to the universe, and then from the universe to existence, and existence to multiverse, multiverse to omniverse, and at the highest level is omni-existence. And omni-existence is the state of all things which exist encompassed inside of non-existence. All things which does not exist, which is infinite infinity. Infinite infinity is the encompassing, contrasting extent and the foundation of non-existence. The foundation of non-existence is, I define it as absolute nothing, which is less than, greater than -1, less than 1, equal to 0, and it's the monad, which is the idea of a perfect non-existence, nothingness. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on, and that's the scope of the story. What I'm working on now is I'm trying to change this story with Quadrant Marie into that omniverse scale structure, and yeah, while maintaining a Runday. I'm supposed to be writing it. I'm supposed to be drawing every day. I have not been successful drawing every day. I'm supposed to be. There's something else I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to draw every day. Oh, and I'm supposed to be working on learning all 12 languages. I have a structure that I put together a while ago that would allow me to learn up to 12 human languages. And if I mastered all 12 human languages, it would allow me to be able to speak fluently to half of the planet. I have not found the time to do that yet, and I need to. I need to, but there's no extra. There's not extra. There's no extra hours in my day. Maybe next month, my because I'm in school full time. Maybe next month I'll have enough time in my schedule to be able to add it. My biggest weakness right now is I need to balance my sleep, and it's really hard to get my body to do what I need it to do when it comes to maintaining a sleep cycle. I need enough sleep to be able to function at the highest level possible, but I also need enough sleep within the time frame that I need to sleep, and that's the struggle. That's the struggle. So yeah, I appreciate everyone that joins the streams. I'm gonna keep forcing myself to be a functional adult and do the things that need to be done to sustain and maintain the quality of life that I'm trying to achieve and be a productive member of society. I need to go run. Um, I've been doing a good job with keeping up with my run schedule and my times. My times are pretty good for my age. I'm running on average about a 22 to a 23 2 mile. It could be faster, but the long term goal is not to run fast. It's to hit a certain endurance milestone, which is 100K. And I've been running every year, but I'm going to try to do my next 100K on Wednesday of this year. So yeah, so if you guys, when you see these streams come up, just comment. Like, the algorithm doesn't really care to share this stuff. So if you are interested or if you want to support it, just leave me a question in the video that you see, and then I can address that question in future videos. I'm gonna always try to do 3 videos, and the YouTube algorithm is gonna punish me for it. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna try to do the diary, the planner, and the journal. And the journal is gonna be a recap. The diary is gonna be like just random rants. It's gonna mostly just be me just talking about whatever I'm actively engaged in on a day-to-day basis that's public information or relevant to share with the public. You guys don't really need to know about what I'm eating or what I'm drinking or how many times I showered. That stuff is relevant to what I'm doing for myself, but it's not really relevant for the average person. But yeah, it's gonna pretty much be like, yeah, so like you don't need to know, you don't care about my homework. I might discuss it, but it's mostly gonna be just like the things that I'm working on and what I'm developing, especially when it comes to my theory of nothingness and my and how it correlates to my power scaling and my progress with comics. So yeah, I've just spent like the last 20 minutes thinking about deep time, trying to figure out how to describe and define the time frames of omniverses. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I do every day, all day, all the time. When I'm not working, that's pretty much what my brain wants to do. So yeah, I could keep ranting, but I'm not going to. As always, my name's Palmer, and I'll give you my 2 cents.